I'm actually going to a game for pleasure. It was through the Buccaneers program in Tyrone Keys.
I was there. I went to my first pro game in 1969, man. And I never forget the opportunity that I had to take Ricky and his group to the game.
I was in awe. That was very pivotal for me really believing that, hey, I can do something.
The great joy that I get is because it's the first time that a lot of the kids have ever gone to a game. And these kids are coming from West Tampa.
It's literally 10 minutes away, but it's much further away mentally to a lot of kids that come from that area. To be in the building, not only in the building, but in the front row, that was on a whole nother level.
The kids who I took to the game, 3 of them are high school principals, coaches and teachers. And I tell you what, it's just a proud feeling when I see them walking into the game with other students.
When I was 18 years old, Eric Vance was the safety head for the Buccaneers for many years. And honestly, Eric was not a star. From 18 years old to the age of 33, I still keep in contact with Eric. So it's much deeper than just coming to one football game. The players need to realize they once was kids also. And they know the feeling to when they get to see a football player, when they get a chance to touch that football player.
Nobody makes it alone. You have a platform as a player to reach back and bring such joy. It's more than just going to the game, but it's abundant opportunity to be able to see the big picture.
Just been with Eric Vance, seeing what he's doing, and I'm getting like a head start stuff I want to do. But Oswald was very good. It's good to a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? It's something that I want to be in when I get older and after college, to be in an organization like that, because it helps you do things like this.
One day somebody will replace you where you guys are sitting, and you'll come back and talk to kids. So just surround yourself around good people and always listen to your teachers. They're trying to get your ear, so once they get your ear, give them your heart. Okay?
Ricky Saylor spends a lot of his days telling teens about his life growing up in Tampa.
It wasn't the best situation. When I was 4, that's the last time I remember seeing my biological mother. And I didn't see her again since I was 19 years old.
He and his younger brother were raised by their father.
My dad did everything he could to make sure that his boys was okay, but we had some real tough days and tough years.
Years in which Ricky would often skip class, which led to trouble.
My best friend was murdered at 24 years old, who was like my brother. My other best friend is doing 62 years in prison.
Ricky stayed out of serious trouble thanks to a community of men who mentored him. One of those was Tyrone Keys, a former NFL football player.
He said, "Hey, I came to the school look for you, and I can help you go to college." Mr. Keys has had my heart ever since.
Ricky went on to junior college and then transferred to Texas Tech to play football. He graduated with a degree in human development and family studies.
Start working with kids right away.
To follow the example of those who helped him, Ricky started Unsigned Preps in 2010. They help high school athletes get college scholarships. Student athletes like Antonio Nunn.
Basically a second father figure, mentoring me along the way. And as you can see now, we still, connected.
The grassroots effort has helped more than 350 students get to college. 90 have graduated.
My heart does smile because I feel that I fulfilled the dream of every mentor and coach that I had.
A dream that he is still living.
I'm pleased, but not satisfied. But I know I'm blessed because I came from a rough environment and made it out with scars, but made it out.
Scars that help remind him to reach back and give a hand up to help teens navigate successful lives.
Well, I wanted to help high school student athletes achieve the dream of going to college.
And in 2010, Ricky Saylor founded Unsigned Preps and took 2 minivans filled with high school football players to college campuses. During this now annual bus tour, they have the amazing opportunity to meet the college players and coaches, practice with them, and experience a new life.
Some kids will get scholarship offers on that day. Some kids will get scholarship offers later on, but it sparked the brain for them to be able to go to college and achieve something that they thought was just a pipe dream.
I was once that kid that, growing up, it like the hope seemed low, there was nobody really there to push me.
Until Nelson Vasquez met Ricky, landed a football scholarship, and in May 2014 became not only the first unsigned prep to graduate from college, but the first person in his family. He is now a juvenile arbitration courtroom specialist, determined to pay it forward.
I just want to be some type of a guide to those kids before, they head down the wrong path.
Exactly what Ricky had in mind.
But the vision is for those guys to not only go to school and graduate, but be new leaders in the community.
A community quarterback is a person that unselfishly gives of themselves to make their community a better place to live.
One of the students that I so much admired when I went to Tampa was a young man named LeBron. He was in a wheelchair. He had been in a terrible car accident, had a lot of adversity issues to deal with, and he told me this story while we were at Tampa Digital preparing some of these videos, that he had to stay in the hospital for a long time after this car accident. And he had a lot of nurturing at the hospital. The nurses were very good to him as well as all the other people. But finally the day came for him to go home. And so he was sitting in his apartment in the dark, hot, wondering what's going to happen to me. Well, it just so happened that Tyrone and his wife had gone out to eat. And at the restaurant, they ran into one of his nurses who said, "We know a young man that needs your help." So he said, "Well, do you have a phone number?" So the nurse gave him the phone number, but they said, "We've been trying to reach him for quite a while, and the number doesn't work anymore." So Tyrone went home, dialed that number. It worked. This young man answered the phone, so sad and gloomy. And Tyrone said, "Hey, what you doing in the morning?" "Nothing." He said, "How about eating breakfast with me?" I said, "Oh, well, that's great." So the next morning, this young man who had nothing was eating breakfast with the Buccaneers. This young man won the Volunteer of the Year award with the Buccaneers this past year for his service with All Sports Community Service.
One of the movers and shakers for the group is an inspiration all by himself. An accident the summer before his senior year of high school might have confined LeBron Saffel to a wheelchair, but it hasn't stopped him. He returned to King High School, where he was elected class president his senior year, and after graduation met Tyrone Keys. Now he heads up the Quest mentoring program at his alma mater.
Will Allen from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he helps me run the program. And basically our goal is to teach students academic achievement.
We're an extension of All Sports Community Service, which is ran by Tyrone Keys. And,
Sure.
You know, he's just been helping us. You know, this Christmas for the holidays, we're going to feed 100 families, and you know, it's just going to be huge. Just the things that we're doing, and just trying to, like I said, inspire and motivate the kids, and help build the community. So
today, LeBron is at King High School meeting with Quest students, an organization he heads up. The idea to help students find their way.
Twice a week, Saffel and Gaines work together to keep Billy on his academic track.
He has so much potential, but he doesn't see that in himself.
He's been teaching me things that outside of the classroom that I know that I won't get in some of my subjects.
And I want them to really, really understand the concept of giving back and helping someone else.
And if they look to LeBron, they will see the power of love and hope and faith.
What an example of the power of love. One teacher, one student, a future of many, many possibilities. Wow.
This is a prototype of the program. That's Derrick Brooks coming out of, that's when he signed his scholarship coming out. We didn't mentor Derrick, but Derrick does do scholarships with us.
The walls of the office are filled with photos and plaques, each one carrying its own success story.
Kylie is a young girl who came to us. She really wanted to play baseball in college. And we put together a highlight film, and we were able to find a little small school up in Greencastle, Indiana, DePaul University. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't a full scholarship, so Trent Dilfer offered to subsidize. And even when he was traded away from the Buccaneers, he still kept in touch with this young lady and sent funds for her to go off to school.
This is what you're supposed to do. You help others. And having my mother always help others, it wasn't anything that I felt like it didn't feel unnatural. It was like, this is cool. Like, it's giving me an outlet to really impact other people's lives. And then when you come home, even though some of the things you come home to aren't the best, you feel grateful because you just left somewhere that someone had a worse situation than yourself. So it made you appreciate too what you had, even at a younger age than probably most people. It's important that people understand that I've been there. It's not just, oh, we've heard about it, but like we had to many times go to where you put it used to be a nickel, you put the nickel in and fill up the gallon water jug, and that's how we took our baths, because she had to decide, was electricity more important than water, and at the time it was, so that's how we took our baths and made our food with the bottled water. Junior high was probably the first time I realized, ooh, there's a life outside of what this looks like, and I liked what that looked like. And my mother always said, you're going to college, and I knew I was going to get to college, just didn't know how. And I tell that story all the time because it's true. Like, if you're determined, there's going to be a way. You make it happen. And I said, you know, I'll sit outside the door if that's how I have to learn, but I'm gonna learn. I'm going to college, like one way or the other. I know I went through all these experiences because now I know what a headache it was to transfer from bus to bus and sitting out in the hot sun, so I can relate. Like, when people come in, like, for conferences, and I'm sorry I'm late, I missed, you know, this transfer, that. I'm like, I understand. I've done it, you know. I think that's why, once again, I know that's why I've been put in this position, because I think that's why I went through everything I went through. I always remember people in the classroom, on the field, always believing me, like, man, she's really gonna make something of herself. Like, they always, and like I said, I'm sure there were people, but I don't ever remember it. And it feels like the kids today, they have that hope, like they're eager to learn. And a lot of them, especially, and I can completely relate, they lack trust. So if they can't trust you initially, they won't work for you. It's not because they can't and they don't want to. They don't trust you. They don't trust that if they make a mistake, you're still going to be there the next day to teach them, or you'll be there. You're going to help them. You're not going to ridicule them because they can't, you know, decode the word. You're not going to think that they're going to be nothing because they're not, you know, getting the math problem. It's the trust that they know that no matter what they do and how many struggles they have in the classroom, you're going to be there and you're going to push them along and you're not going to let them fail. You want them to see the outside, so taking them, like what we did this past year with you all's help, big time. We took the kids, the 5th graders, to the Bucs game. We were on the bus, just a bus ride alone. We were on a charter bus, like, so they were just like, oh my, Miss Moore, look at this, oh look, it's cushy seat. I'm like, I know. It's cool, right, guys? I said, when you go to college, like, we traveled, and I would, like, relate it to college. When I was in college, we used these buses to travel. Like, this is what you can have. You just got to work hard. So then we get all the way into the stadium. Oh, my goodness. Like, it was like on the movies, like, where the kids were just like, whoa. And just smile, because it's like, this is so cool. You know, they're going to remember this for the rest of their lives. It was just amazing. I can't even recapture their looks on their faces. It was just like an awe. And then we talked about, you know, we always bring it back. Hard work can give you these opportunities. Hard work, you gotta remember hard work. We got in the stadium, we were cheering. Oh, it was just like a movie. It was awesome. You feel empowered, because it's like, if you can teach 500 kids, and if they can do, even if half of them can come back and help out, it's 250 kids coming back to their community and pushing forward.
Two, three. Right.
The best competition we could help create in a kid's life is to create competition within himself. If he goes out on the obstacle course and he challenged his time from the last time he ran it, he goes home, he looks in the mirror, and he's proud. He goes back out the next weeks later and he beats that time. He's overcoming obstacles. We just entered into an agreement to be able to support big brothers and big sisters. So that's something that we think is very important. Role models, mentoring, always being able to not just tell someone what to do, but show someone how to do it.
After we won the Super Bowl, I came here for the play for the Tampa Bay Bucks. I got involved in the school district here by subbing at Lato High School. Became more focused and really found my focal point in working with first generation of college-bound student athletes around the county.
Mr. Keys provided opportunities that I would never have had of going to like Bucks games, teaching me who leaders are in our community to give back and be like that. So it kind of inspired me to do what I'm doing today, where I work with Big Brothers Big Sisters Tampa Bay. And I love inspiring kids, getting them excited and providing unique opportunities to them so that way they can come full circle and one day give back.
Bruce Arians was our coach at Mississippi State. He was like a mentor to a lot of us because he was closer in age. We beat the University of Alabama, which he told us we could do, but we never would have believed it. They had won 2 straight national championship games. They had won 28 straight games in a row. And Bruce Arians told us we're going to beat them. And that's pretty much what he said here. He said, hey, he told the team, it's Super Bowl or bust.
If we can introduce that, if we could be a part of trying to get kids to be motivated against themselves, what do you get? You get a better man, you get a better person. But most of us, including the mayor, we participated in sports. We got that competitive spirit that when you go into the boardrooms, when you go into the locker rooms, when you go into construction, where you're gonna always turn out and you wanna be the best at whatever you do.